The fill and stroke buttons are the keys to controlling the color properties of objects in Illustrator. Using these tools effectively will alleviate frustration when applying color to your artwork. The way that colors are applied to objects inside of Illustrator is using the stroke and fill boxes located down here at the bottom of the Tools panel. The Fill button controls the fill color of the currently selected object, and the Stroke button controls the stroke or border of the currently selected object. I'm going to click on this shape here, and because it's currently inside of a clipping path, we'll just double-click it to go into isolation mode. I'm then going to zoom in on this orange oval in my artwork. Using my selection tool, or the direct selection tool, I can select this object to make it active. And when I do, the property of the selected object is going to show in the fill and stroke boxes at the bottom of the tool panel. So as you can see, the fill and stroke boxes are reflecting the fill and stroke of the selected object. Now, the way that these buttons work is that the button that is frontmost is the property that can currently be affected. So for instance, with the stroke currently active, I can come over here to my swatches panel. I can pick a different color to apply to the object. Maybe we'll make this something quite different. And you can see that the current swatch that I've chosen has been applied to the currently selected object. If I wanted to adjust the stroke color of the object, I would need to click on the stroke button to bring it forward. Now I can apply a different color to the stroke of the selected object. If I come over here to my swatches panel and choose a different color, you can of course see the change. Now, you find yourself often toggling back and forth between the fill and the stroke over here at the bottom of the Tools panel. You can do that quickly with a shortcut by just pressing the letter X on your keyboard. Pressing that keyboard shortcut simply changes the focus between the Fill button and the Stroke button. In addition, you can also adjust the stroke or fill of the selected object by just clicking on the frontmost icon to display the color panel. When this color panel is open, I can make adjustments to change the fill color. If I in turn double-click on that icon, it'll bring up my color picker, which allows me to choose any hue that I'd like to apply to the selected object. If I click OK, the new fill has been applied. The same thing applies to your stroke. I can press the letter X on my keyboard to make it active. Double-clicking on it will bring up the color picker, where I can change the color accordingly. In the upper right-hand corner of that area, you have a Swap Fill and Stroke button. Clicking on that button will swap the stroke and fill color of the selected object. The shortcut key for that is simply Shift-X. Shift-X will swap the current stroke and fill color. If I decide that I want to just go back to the default appearance of an object, meaning the default colors of a white fill and a black stroke, I can click on the default fill and stroke button in the lower left corner of that area. That will set the stroke and fill color to Illustrator's default. I'm going to press Command 0 on Mac or Control 0 on Windows, and I'm going to double click on my canvas to exit isolation mode. You can also set your default fill and stroke color by making sure that you have nothing selected in your document and changing the stroke and fill color to colors of your choice. Now, any object that I draw using any of my shape tools are going to inherit the properties of those default colors. So if you have a lot of objects that you need to draw that have a similar appearance, you can set that appearance prior to drawing them, and that way they will all inherit that selected appearance. As you can see, applying color to an object's stroke and fill can be quite easy when you understand how the stroke and fill buttons work. Add the shortcut keys you learned in this video, and you're well on your way to efficiently applying color to objects in Illustrator CS5.